We're back with another Age of Mythology point of view casted game where we're watching it from the point of view of the players. Today we are watching Kavoth play Shennong, one of the Chinese gods. At this point, China has been out for about a week and a half is the time. So you would expect the meta of China to be settling a little bit. I think on day 2 or so, we watched Kavoth play, and I personally believe he's one of the best players playing currently, which is why I like to watch his games, and I think that's the person we can learn a lot from. So now we'll see how the same guy plays with quite a lot more knowledge, you would assume. Him and Chemo are two people that really like to grind the ladder, and those are two people that I like to watch because of that. So there is a tournament coming up as well, so we don't know if their strategies are going to be fully what you'd expect when they're playing on the ladder, where anyone can go download the games. If you want to watch the games for yourself, they're available on aomstats.io. I can link it below if I remember. But if not, it's aomstats.io, which is Gerbot's website. And it's really, really good for downloading any games that you want. But we are seeing China. And Shennong is probably one of the more aggressive Chinese gods. Although Kavoth isn't that much of an aggressive player. We'll move him to the left because that's what we like to do. And he's doing the kind of usual strat that you would expect. You get the Kwafu to come over to the wood line. If you can share a wood line and a gold mine for the Kwafu, you really want to, because the Kwafu will want to move over to either gold or wood, whichever one you start with, and then move over onto the other one. And he's also pre-queued or got a Kwafu queued up whenever he hits it, and 17 favor will be the time where he's able to get out another Kwafu. That's exactly what he wants to do. That's actually a really good idea. You can just right-click it so it comes out as soon as possible. It waits for the villager to stop it as well, so it's absolutely perfect. And then you basically just want to spam peasants onto food, because that is where they are the most productive, basically. He's almost got enough food in. He's also getting the temple right on the edge there, so he gets the maximum amount of favor, which is exactly what you want to do. You can build it up with the peasant early on if you want to, but how his build was going, he wanted to get the Kwafu out on that one, and he is against a Hades here, so that is one thing to keep in mind. Is Hades is another god which likes the booming. China so far has really liked the booming, apart from Shennong going for some kind of Yazi plays, and actually he's going Shiyu this time. So actually, yes, he could go for those Yatsus that are kind of like Anubai. It's kind of like Sphinx. They are a mix. We watched a game recently with 3DB who went just purely for those, rather than actually getting out any extra Kwafus to have in the eco, because they do cost favor. So it'll be interesting to see how Kavoth plays it. So he is going for Divine Light, which gives your pioneers extra range and line of sight, and also lets them pick up relics. So he's going for this one to get your temple techs even cheaper. And these Yatsu myth units actually get 2 upgrades, similar to the Sphinx. They get 2 upgrades. So if you get this 25% cheaper on everything, even the favor cost, this is a really good relic for some kind of strategy to go along with that one. Then this one we have Petal of Argus improves all line of sight by 6. You know me, I like my line of sight upgrades. And then this one, these silos and houses build faster. Not the most important, but I mean, if you're there, you can pick it up, but it's not something you really want to spend your time doing. So he isn't going for an instant favor spend on the myth units. Rather, actually no, he did just cancel the Kwafu. That's what I was thinking. If you're going into these temple upgrades, he does have it right in the temple there. Do you get the upgrade first, or do you actually get one out? Neither. He's going for a town center. Ignore me. I mean, you do have the option to do it after a second town center, don't you? There is nothing wrong with that. This does fit more into Kavoth's playstyle. Let's see what this town center really gives. So he could have gone for this town center if he really wanted to. The Hades is advancing so late, so he could have got this town center if he wanted to. And we will move the line of sight across. So he could have got this one and got a decent amount of hippos, so a gold mine here. But instead, he's gone for one that isn't as good. I mean, there we go. We move to the other line of sight. There we go. He's basically gone for one where there's less walking time. It doesn't really secure much. It just has a wood line on it, which he's got wood lines at home. We have a wood line at home. But it does kind of get these later on. And maybe his third town center could be this one, and then that's when you secure things. But I would expect him to go for maybe a different forward town center. But just rather going for getting the villagers out earlier, which is kind of what Kavoth decided to go for. And he is getting this Son of Loong upgrade, which gives the Yatsus their 15% extra hit points and the 40 hack damage to their flash damage. So we'll have a look. He's also Shennong, so gets the free myth units. So here is the Chongqi coming in as well. And it is so good to get this guy. He's such a raiding monster, and it is definitely what you want. So he's got myth units everywhere. A nice little dash in. Unfortunately, didn't want to go for another attack, but he does have another Yatsu round the back. And will be able to run away from that Achilles. Does have slightly more speed and should be able to get a villager killed. Nice garrison by, I think this is Kido is the face there. So we have seen that the Hades has also got a second town center. It would have been a bit later because the Hades advanced so late. So he's gone for quite an eco build. Also using that Q rather than actually just running away, using the Q to dash out. Should be able to pick that off. So it is 1 dash plus 2 hits, manages to take one of these down. He's also getting the Chongqi, and that should also be a dead villager there. Really strong raids, and wow, nice little garrison there, though. There is some really low HP ones, which he should be able to see, but doesn't want to go near the Ajax, which is absolutely fair enough. The Chongqi is a little bit more tanky, and then obviously can also run away. You need to kind of do some darting back and forth, because if you just go in a straight line, the Ajax can hit you there. But it looks like the Ajax is just too slow, so maybe it just doesn't matter. Going for that. Nope, thought that was a hero. So he's still getting the Yatsus out. I mean, they're only 125 wood, 15 favor. The question is, how many Quafus does he have? So he has just the 2 Quafus from earlier. So he is basically not getting any, spending all his favor on myth units and myth unit upgrades. So this is Rage of the Slaughter, gives them another 15% HP, and then 50% on the lifesteal, and then gain 80% lifesteal for 10 seconds. Is that an ability? Oh, an active on enemies killed. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Did not know it did that. And they're just running around everywhere. I think I might have to give this a go, because I'm a big fan of the Anubite plays. It's one of the things I like about playing Isis, is doing the Anubite raids. And he manages to get a kill there, and then potentially another one goes to run away. It does make them a little bit more tanky, which is good, which you do kind of want. They don't have much health at all. Nice dash on there. But Ajax kind of in position. I mean, you can see by the villager numbers, and I think Kavoth will know that he is ahead, because, I mean, he hasn't lost any villagers, or at least none that I've seen. Also still managing to get some houses out and whatever to actually expand the favor to get more of these guys out, and also going for an armory. So because all he's spending is wood, it means the food and gold income is absolutely fine to just go heroic. So he's going for a 2-town center semi-fast heroic, basically getting out some myth units to raid, but he hasn't dropped any buildings down. This is similar to how Kavoth, and look at this with the houses here. This is similar to how Kavoth plays something like Poseidon, where we've seen him go for the early aggression with the centaurs, or even Zeus, early aggression with the centaurs, not building any stables, no military academies, whatever, going for the dash and then run away. Unfortunately, messes up the dash with one of those guys. So that was really unfortunate. I think that isn't something that Kavoth expected, but also really nice to just hit one as he was going away. You can actually be able to see the villager health bar. You can change it in the settings. So I have, if anything's damaged, you can always see the health bar, and I suggest doing that if you want to go on raids like this. Maybe it doesn't look as pretty, but at least you can see what HP they're on. But yeah, so he's playing China similar to how he plays something like Greek, where it's like a pressure into boom afterwards. Also getting more of these Yatsu guys out. Nubar coming in. Nubar is the one which gives you drought, which makes the buildings a lot less tanky, so you can rush them down with some Dao swordsmen, or you can rush them down with a great flood later on, if that's actually something that Shennong gets. We'll have to check that. And I remember who has access to what. No, but he gets Blazing Prairie, so we'll call that the same thing. Also getting his eco upgrades in just beforehand. Hand axe, absolutely great. Really good on the resources here. I mean, what is he going to go for? So he's decided to drop one machine workshop and 2 military barracks. So he is going into just these standard units now. Dao swordsman and the Zhuque news. And then what is this? This is the rock solid upgrade. So this is the one where if your myth units are standing still, then they get more hack and pierce armor. And also they just get more hack and pierce armor anyway, so it makes these guys a bit more tanky. Nice snipe on the Catastropher Scout there. Should be able to teleport away with this guy. Oh, I think because this wasn't on, because this was on auto, I think he accidentally dashed in on the Achilles, which isn't great, but this guy can come back and heal up, so should be fine. He is faster, and will get his special up at some point. You can just see that Kavoth has just queued him up to dance around, and the Achilles will go down. These guys could have all turned on him as well. That was not the best part thing, but the Tau Ties are out. And these guys, I haven't really seen much of. They do eat soldiers, so that is interesting. We can just see, I mean, this is abusing the Greek player, the poor Greek that only has three heroes. This is what happens when I play Greek against China. They just go full myth units. What can you do? And you can just see how much eco Kavoth actually has. Might be even worth just spamming up loads of buildings. Baolei coming up, market coming up. That's exactly what he's doing, just to spread this favored land everywhere. I mean, what is his favor income right now? 22 favor per minute. And these guys, you see they're rock solid on there. So you get 1.5 of these guys a minute, kind of. So not bad at all. But deciding to go for Zhuque. So that is a big curse coming in, and that will take out those myth units. The thing is about the myth units is they are really, really cheap. And curse in this game, rather than the legacy version, is actually based off of how much things cost. So those myth units, if they're cheap myth units, they'll go down quickly. But there is a couple of Yazus over here trying to go and get some damage done. You kind of want to min defend this going to the Mythic Age. This is something that China really likes to do currently because the Mythic Age God Powers and the Mythic Age heroes are so bloated. You really want to go for those whenever you can. Deciding to, or tries to run away with those guys. Can he actually eat something just to get a little bit more health? Nope, not managing to do that. Getting some White Horse Cavalry out. He is a bit on the back foot here, but the Baolei is putting in work. Zhuque Nu's coming in. Might just need to garrison these guys up and kind of wait for your power spike. Get some units out and be absolutely fine. Huge stun from the Nemean Lion. But while this is happening, is getting some raids off, but Ajax really well defended there. Will manage to run away from that Ajax though. Goldmine could go up here, could just shift up there with the Baolei up there instead. Just basically sack this position is an option. The enemy Hades player is going Hippaspis, Hoplites unupgraded, and some medium Toxotes there, medium archers. So what does that mean? It means that the Zhuque Nu are very good in this situation. So if he can mass up those, it'll be absolutely great. Obviously getting this White Horse Cavalry to be able to dive on the back. But maybe just kind of waiting for this this blazing prairie to kind of work like a lightning storm. Also, really nice raid here. Managed to run away, kind of distract the villagers. Ajax is coming, and Kavoth notices that straight away. Nice play to run away. This unfortunately does hit his favor income quite significantly. I haven't really seen much of the Phoenix. I don't know if it's similar to the Egyptian Phoenix or not. Is he going to use the Blazing Prairie in the base? Looks like that is what he's planning to do with this guy, targeting right down here. Is that what we're going to see? We are going to see it here. Restoration used preemptively. I don't know whether that'll fix anything or not, but nice play if it can. But unfortunately, that was probably just a test to see if that works. But no, basically like a meteor, everything gone. Absolutely huge, huge damage. So this is similar to the damage that Kavoth has sustained, really. He's sustained the damage on the Baolei going down, the gold mines being hit, a few villagers going down, just buildings basically. So he's just hit that back. But this gold mine is also being covered. Really good play from the Hades, to be honest, to secure these. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some kind of building here or something to stop. But Kavoth needs to push out onto these gold mines, get his Baoleis back up, which he absolutely can. He's got so many resources in the bank. And then when he gets a decent amount of units, he can use lightning weapons and basically stun all the units like a mini flaming weapons kind of situation, but it stuns them instead. So he is going for these guys. Let's have a look. So they have AoE damage, 5 shots, and I don't know what their Q does, but he's manually targeting them on that one. Maybe we can see what it does. Unfortunately, we can't. But it does have that rock solid. So if they just stand there, I mean, they're just getting loads of health. And there's only 4 heroes, 3 heroes currently for the Hades to actually take these guys out. So solid idea before the Mythic Age happens, where then Hades gets access to Perseus. Perseus can basically deal with these guys very well because he has the divine damage. I don't think his special hits flying units, but there's actually a lot of flying units for the Chinese, isn't there? Dragons and all sorts. Ballets coming up in exactly the same spot. And we have a pretty even game here, to be honest. There's some damage been done for both players. Pretty much even in score. And no significant advantages, really. So we have slash and burn here. So this is the reducing the cost and increase the gather rate of farms. Costs minus 80% there. So that's a Shennong for special farm. That costs 15 food. And then you can whack down these if you really want to. I basically think he's gone for no Quafus except his original two. Full peasants. Basically, peasants are the equivalent of a laborer from Egypt, but you don't have the pharaoh or you don't have the priest to empower. Pegasus goes down, but gets some nice information. Easily run these hoplites away. Pretty fast for flying units, to be honest. 4 speed. Ballet going up over here by the gold mine. The one benefit of the peasants is they're not very good. Let's just be honest. They're not very good at anything, but they are 40 food. So they cost 10 less. So if you're 100 population of these guys versus 100 population of normal villagers, then you've saved a significant amount. You've saved 20% resources. Achilles against every myth unit under the sun. It's funny that this one's kind of like a mirror. The town center here was very similar to Kavoth's very early town center, where it doesn't really give anything. But he is going for this town center here, getting the Quafu on it, 45 seconds-ish. And these guys deal hack damage also, so they don't deal the usual pierce that you'd expect from a ranged flying unit. So actually, these buildings go down pretty quickly. We can see the queue for the Hades. Just archers, some Hippaspis as well, which is interesting. I guess he must just have a lot of food in the bank. Because I don't think Kavoth is building anything that warrants Hippaspis, but more just to spend the resources he's got, which is sometimes what you've got to do, isn't it? But these guys just burning like mini Nidhogs. Will also, if he's able to pressure this side, he could just take this town center too, rather than going for the standard play where normally what you kind of want to do is pressure a gold mine. But if you're in this kind of position where you can get the map control instead, it's also got another ability here which we can't hover over. I'm actually going to see what these things do because I need to be knowledgeable on them, and we can't see. Of course, we'll have a look afterwards. This guy's sitting there getting all this armor, 82%, 91% armor. Is crazy. Zhuque Nu going absolutely crazy as well. These guys can sit back here, get their armor. Down they go. What do they do when they're down here? Oh, they gain... Units can fly, and then they gain loads of HP when they're down. Okay. That's pretty crazy. See, because everyone's going through the Great Flood guy, playing Nuwa and Fuji, you don't actually get to see some of the new stuff just because it's flavor of the month. It's whatever people like. It was the same thing when Retold first came out and everyone was playing Isis and everyone was just going through Thoth. Nobody knew that Osiris was absolutely busted because everyone was playing Thoth. Ajax versus a hero versus a myth unit here with so much HP will manage to defend just for the town center to go up there. Fortress will go down to these guys. Heavy tiger cavalry coming out. So the hoplites are definitely warranted now, which is exactly what the Hades is going for. The burn. It's absolutely crazy. Maybe if you can get through Artemis and get the poison damage, although I know the poison damage upgrade is a bit bugged currently, so I don't know how much damage it's actually doing, but maybe that would be good to get the divine damage against these guys because of the armor. This is crazy. And settlement will go up exactly as we said. 4 TCs now, so he'll be able to get more of these guys out, be able to spread the favor even further. So we're fully zoomed out here, so we can actually go around and see how much favor Kavoth is getting. Baolei coming out here. Tiger Cavalry, these guys are so expensive. What are they? 115 food, so much. But I mean, look at the eco. The no Quafu eco, except this guy. Literally still at only 2, I think. I don't think he's built any more. Absolutely mad. But Champion Cav coming in will make these guys even stronger. Myth units recovering. How many of these guys are there? 5. What's the DPS? 25 damage per second, but in an area of 4, so dealing very, very, very good damage. Does need to be careful of the hot plates. These still are Athena hot plates, which are the best counter that the Hades really has to Tiger Cavalry. You could get Prodromus, but the Zhuque Nu would absolutely melt them. Whereas at least going through Athena, really nice reaction to actually get those archers out the way, because these guys are going to do so much damage to them. Gets another restoration out. It's probably the best bet to actually take these guys out, to be honest, because at least they're kind of somewhat invincible for a certain amount of time. And this is as good a micro as you're really going to get against this kind of abuse. It's also a little bit of a raid coming down over there. Hot plates on there. Nice ball formation here from the Hades to actually surround or not get surrounded by the Tiger Cavalry. But I think these guys are just too strong. Absolutely too strong. Also, the population advantage, 162 to 80. 260 pop to 210. There is Artemis through. Could get an Earthquake off with a Pegasus. Potentially there's a Pegasus coming through. I guess you would just do it on the base and just hope that you can get down to some kind of even population. These guys are so loud as well. Tiger Cav, Zhuque Nu's, Bronze Shields coming in, which is probably the best upgrade that you're really going to get against the Hades here. It's also could be worth securing this gold mine down here with a ballet, but instead actually gone for the middle one. So don't really need to do that. It would only be to push the Hades off. You'd assume that these ones probably up the top have been mined out by now, or at least going to be mined out very, very shortly. Worth sending a guy over there to have a look. Also got 100 favor in the bank. How much favor did these guys cost? 30. So he can get 3 more of those if he really wants to. But now Mythic Age is in. Perseus is in. Perseus does deal that divine damage. But I assume that the Zhuque Nu could take down a Perseus extremely quickly. Does take down the units over there instead. Sort of upgrades we're looking at. So we've got Masons. So Masons against Earthquake is normally enough to... Anything that's on the edge shouldn't go down, or anything with decent HP on the edge shouldn't go down. Things in the middle, like a town center in the middle, will probably go down. I don't think... If he had Masons as well, I don't think it even does, and that's exactly what he's clicked up as I was hovering over it. The Hoondoon. This guy's fear ability is just so annoying. It's actually obnoxious. Especially if you get a load of melee units like your hot plates, it's obnoxious. But some AoE damage wanting to come through. Chiron here. All the heroes are out for the blue player, but I think it's probably not enough. I think maybe needed to go to Mythic Age a little bit sooner. But it is kind of difficult to do. Trying to dodge the arrows as well. Perseus going down. Ajax probably going down soon. And didn't manage to take the fortified town center down, but come over here to just win this fight instead. Going to win it outright. Those Zhuque Nus just do so much damage. Earthquake does come into the main base, but as we said, the Architects was in, so I don't think it should be able to take these out. Houses that are on the edge probably should. They don't really, don't really have much HP, but even the towers survive because of the Masons, Architects, and just really well played by Kavoth there. Decided to go for a different town center than the one I would have expected him to choose. I normally do things like this and just choose like the really close one, but this one had a lot on, but it didn't really matter. Then deciding to go for the no Kwafu strat, which and then just use the peasants and all the myth units. But really well played, and see you in the next one.